that she's been doing this for like 10 years. Finally, I think it's the network that she has, the kind of friends, the village that's around her. So until she comes to give all her appreciation, I want you to appreciate yourselves for surrounding her, for making her grow, and for bringing this to this point. And on that note, I'd like to introduce to you the fabulous Amma Duncan.
Thank you very much, Anita. Thank you, everyone. I am never emotional. If Franca is here, where is she? I'm not dramatic. Oh my God. I have been looking forward to this day for so long. I feel like the entire year, actually my 2025 hasn't started because I've been preparing for today. I feel so grateful to see even the number of people in the room. It's just mind-blowing. And the fact that I see men is even more mind-blowing for me. Wow, 10 years. To God be all the glory. Looking at this room, I am glad our board members pushed me to create a gala instead of the small event we were going to have. Last week, a lady in this room told me on the phone, Amma, you have transformed my life. Now I also have to pay it forward. And then she gave us a hefty check to support FAB Youth Camp, which is one of our initiatives. So what really is it about the Fabulous Woman Network that makes this lady and others want to support us, or for distinguished guests like you to leave your busy schedules to join us today for our 10th anniversary awards and fundraising gala? Well, our story starts from April 2015, when a broke and unfulfilled girl, bald-headed girl, decided to hone her writing skills so she could become an author. She wrote about women who inspired her, like her mother, who is in the room today, and her friends, some of whom are here, and even people she hadn't met before. Her little brother, who is, if you know him, you know him, helped her to post these stories on Facebook. When the Facebook page started growing rapidly with feedback such as, wow, this is so inspiring, she just kept looking for more women to share their stories. At a point, the page became so popular, and her little brother called her one day, Mami Ama, could do a page in there. Organize an event, people will come. I said, are you sure? He said, yes, do it. He pushed me, and we did. And really, this was the beginning of events like this that we've been doing over the past 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this is really the nutshell of our story, the Fabulous Woman Network story. For the past 10 years, we have been inspiring, equipping, and building the capacity of women, youth, and organizations through leadership development and entrepreneurship to create brighter and flourishing outcomes for the now and in the future. Here's just a brief of some of the things we've done by God's grace. We've amplified the work of over 400 women by sharing their inspiring stories online. Trained over 8,000 women on leadership and entrepreneurial skills development. Trained and mentored over 400 youth in underserved communities and employed 10 of them in our organization. We've built a community health center for the people of Abu Abukese. We've supported over 10 women to secure funding, 20 women to secure funding for their businesses. Connected over 5,000 women in the Fabulous Woman community to help, and many more. And I would like to highlight three of our initiatives and call some of the ladies to come and share their own impact stories. So I'd like to invite Emanuela Achampo, aka Rakiki. If Ruth is here, let's have her on stage. If she's not, Nana, is Nana here? Dora, Mimi, Nanekia Class P, yes. Please clap for them as they come. Nanekia Class P, Marian, Lady Edith. I see a number of faces, and please pardon me if I don't call you, because if I don't stop talking, they will sack me. Ruth is here. You're looking so beautiful. I was like, who is that? So, Emanuela, me pachoka tree mae, because some of us can speak tree, and yeah, so Kumasi na yewe. We have only 2 people here, as far as I'm concerned, who don't speak tree. So after, I will try to translate. Emanuela is a beneficiary of several of our programs, iFAB Women Entrepreneurs Program. Emanuela, please share your story.
And Fantifo, almost a mammy. And Fantifo, me no motino. Or won't come Fanti will fear, Nabaqua, me catch and so on Chinaman Fantino. The all kind say, Chichidodo near Guabe, Miss Min Chichidodo near Guabe, and I say, a handy master ma, and a madame dear Moa, Fabros Woman, Network, Aya Mammy, 2018. Na Yekosia, and to my the necklace, and we asma day, ye the beer ribbon. And so who say, Amma Duncan. Na o bidi dani komo ani nyina me na na meye enti na o tu kwan ana o ka kire me se menye bi ma no no nkoton enti okoba ye no ma me $1 afi na me tia mu kasi afi obi sam se na da hu bi da na nam si o enya sa ma hu bi da ma so bi mu da bai ni pa kro na oje na de we nsu de me dia enti ma maniji mani o me de say me $1 account ti okobia na chese me de amano no okọ no akoto abanti oba nam de ma Mr. Duncan say onji koto me honom enti na ye me first business enti ma manage say we de ekoyi enti asa me yire me ho enti me yire me ho ye adwuma ne saa enti say me $1 account me san wo me business account and the ma me nya business account and na ye me first business enti they say me wa me personal account na mo business account. Enti the atosu bie mu nso ye yogurt. And so a boa me say me ye orders e mama for amama hu nipa bebre. First na me mpekasa, first na me mpenipa. But enam sa ade nti asa me de me hu hihye nipa. Aha nti amama me nso mabra bokọ animu first na misika eye 20%, but say misika eye 200%. Enti me come anim oh nti even you kra fra me say ya anya fe na mtwetwe me so first na ofra me a me say ewurade kra mo ha dwin scan ya say na nso na de ofra me a pa na me de ama enti me da Fabros Woman Network ase ena ese nso Fabros Kitchen they say me nso me ye aduane wo honom ne nkwan de anya agro ye wo so nkwan pa wo honom aduane ahodo bebre enti se open orders bibia wa humi kura na hunu madam ya bibia be kama enti Fabros Woman Network me da masi awurade shiramo onye makuma so ade nyina emfa mamu de maye no maboa me ne mabusua maboa me nso mabra bo first na asa me moamo me ho ba say me kentine me ho me da masi.
Thank you very much. So for the sake of those who don't understand tree, Emanuela took several of our programs. The first one was the beads making and accessories. She learned how to make accessories using waste clothes and stuff. And the first time she did, I was going to South Africa. I took some to do exhibition. I returned and her money was in dollars. I gave her $50. She screamed. I was so shocked. But I mean, and then she opened a dollar account, which now she's been feeling. So that was, I didn't even realize that was her first business until she told me. And then she took our yogurt making training and her yogurt. My husband tasted it and was like, this is the best yogurt I've ever. And some of you have tasted her yogurt. It's really good. So she's been amazing. And she is also our head chef at iFAB Kitchen now. So we thank you. Don't go yet. Ruth Nami is an amazing woman that we discovered through our iFAB Youth Camp initiative. And so this one, we train and mentor youth in underserved communities. We went there about 3 years ago, and we discovered Ruth. Ruth will tell us her experience as well.
But you're meeting the roots. Meti abwabakesi. Sunday ewiabi. Aye dum light. Me pia wanti se me jim from mami bi share. I say a friend Auntie Ellen. That was first day I me home. I okita the Fabulous Woman Network form. I was the ma youth. Na me inti network, me inti Fabulous Woman Network. Me inti omanka. Me nim obi odi ba yempo. Ba ena mami isi. Me be home lady ama. And my first one, I'm about graphic design and editing. And in the mama, a program, my laptop, because of sending me and my mammy bomb home body. And waiting, Lady Amma, a boy, me be brave. Or my baby car, the Fabulous Woman Network, as a mere employee were home. And Namane, and Boo and Tisu, say, my senior when you go school, as a mere agric, it was Kumasi Institute of Tropical Agriculture. And in the Fabulous Woman Network. Obuami, skawo, eskafamu, ama me di family, enu ama de kamenu ama me tom beans, ablo, any gari, local rice, any nkati, upeni nyina, oba, menye biamo.
A lot of women and made a lot of businesses. Last year, I won the best tour operator of the year, national, from Ghana Tourism Authority, right? And so it's out of this community, I've connected to wonderful women who I can call. I am dealing with this, pray for me. And I will just go to bed and they will pray for me. I can call people in this community and tell them, I'm stuck in terms of finance to do ABC. So push me, let me finish this project and then give it back to you. And they will just go ahead and do it for me. And then at every point in time, I will get someone in this community asking me, what are you working on now? So there is fire in this community. If you want to relax, you will not be permitted to relax. And apart from that, I've also been given the opportunity to impact. I've met wonderful women who needed some sort of help that the Lord has used me, mere mortal, simple vessel like me, to impact their lives. And I also thank God for such opportunity. So the community has done so much, especially connecting me to wonderful people. One of them is looking at my face. Pastor Annette. So the Lord has connected me to wonderful people through this community. They've changed my perspective to life, to business, to everything. And then I just can't thank the Fabulous Woman Network enough for this wonderful people I've met through this network.
And last year, was it last year or 2 years ago, we did our first community project outside Ghana. We did it in Uganda, and she was there with us. Uganda. It was so much fun. This year, we are looking to do Kenya and South Africa. It's not just a tour. We will do community service while we are there. So if you are interested, please stay tuned. This wonderful woman, can you believe she recently turned 50? Just last week, right? Yes. And we are so blessed to have her in this community with us. The decor you see on the table and the decor you see here, she is responsible. And this one, we even asked for a light thing. If we had allowed her, we wouldn't have recognized this room. So, Lady AC, please share your experience with us.
Thank you so much. I'm Edith Amosa. I think 2 years ago, 2023, was my time of being part of iFAB. I had seen her on social media, Facebook, talking about the Fabulous Woman Network, but I couldn't join because of my situation. And then, by the grace of God, I was out of the situation and I was able to join. The first year I met Sikachum at the Fab Hub for the retreat. And through Sika, I've become the youth director of the Ghana chapter of AULO. So that network has really helped me. And of course, last year I did the decor for the iFAB 2024, and then this year. So it gives an opportunity for the people in the community to show their gifts, and then to, what do you call it? You benefit from sharing your experiences and also your job that you do. It's patronized. And then also I was part of the FAB CEO. I pitched, that was my first pitching experience. I pitched and then I won. I was part of the winners, yes. So it's also helped me so much. And for the retreats that we have, the stories that we share really help. And then the resource people that come to support us. I think what we had 2 days ago on Thursday, the lady Mary spoke about inheritance succession. And it really got stuck with me, especially the succession plan. She spoke about family businesses. And I'm really, that's my goal, to have a family business that would go on years when I'm gone. And so it's really resonated with me. And this morning I started speaking with my children that I have to start mentoring them so that when I'm no more, I have to start taking myself off gradually, being involved in the day-to-day activity of, into events and also farming. And so I have to gradually wean myself off so that they can take over from me. So seriously, it's amazing. And then I was sharing something with Class B this morning about this is not something that somebody has told me, but by identification. Last year, you were, Lady Amma, you were sort of, in fact, 2 years ago, you were more involved in the activities. Last year, you were a bit far, yes. But this year, I see that there's this coordination between project director, it's like that line of setting things up. It has really spoken to me. And so it's something that I'm really taking on this year to do. So thank you so much, and then God bless you.
Finally, Warrior Wife.
Prayer is our weapon.
So I'm part of this ministry called Warrior Wife Prayer Ministry. I believe that's where we met, or? Yes. And Marianne has been part of our community as well, the Fabulous Man community. Please share your experience with us.
Thank you, Amma. My name is Marianne Okwajeman. So for me, she mentioned Warrior Wives, but what really drew me to her was, of course, how she brought her God to her work. Her love for women, her love for life, and her love for books. You can't talk to Amma and won't hear anything about God, women, books. They have to be there. I grew up in Kumasi. I was born in Kumasi, and I live in Accra. But I always look back for that connection, and I found that connection, that Kumasi connection. I always come back to Kumasi and have that same connection of books, women, and God. Is that where I'm standing? Yeah. Okay. I should think it should be better now. Okay. So last year, I attended iFAB. And one thing that I took back was Dare to Dream Again, Marian. As little girls, we all have our dreams. And I think life happened to me somewhere along the line, and I forgot about my dreams, or I just shelved them somewhere. But last year, after iFAB, I got the message clearly that I needed to dream again. So as we speak now, I enrolled. So I took a different career path because I abandoned my dreams. But as we speak now, I enrolled in what I believe is my calling and doing that. Thank you, Amma, for last year. And as for the book part, so let me tell you something I did. When I started following Amma and I joined Instagram, I went to Amma's Instagram page, and all the people that she was following, me too, I followed some. So at least we can get the same content. So from one person that she followed that I also followed, I got to know about a book club in Accra that I could join. And last year, I was able to read at least a book every month. So thank you, Amma. So I mean, you can still use social media for good things and not get that negative rap. So thank you so much, Amma, for... And one last thing, I mean, all these wonderful people, I'm very introverted, and I won't go out to make friends. But Amma creates this opportunity for me to interact with other women who are also like-minded, and it really helps my social life. So thank you, Amma, and thank you, fabulous women.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, ladies. So you see, today is about celebration. And I mean, there are a lot of other people who couldn't join us, but I'm grateful that you are here. And I know the others may be watching online. Where are the cameras? Hi, online people. So we'll do a number of key things today, 3 key things. First, we will launch the Fabulous Woman Volume 1, Wawaba book, and we'll explain what Wawaba is. It's a powerful collection of inspiring stories, and we'll also honor 10 amazingly fabulous women in what we are calling Fab Women of Influence Awards. And finally, we'll share our vision for 2030. And we are just so excited that you are all here, some from Kenya, US, and Accra, Buabukesi, wherever you're coming from. Thank you all so much for coming, and welcome.
Thank you so much. As for the books, dear, okay, so apart from the lady that testified reading 1 book a month, who also has that testimony, 1 book a month, I think that's my challenge for today. Thank you very much for the inspiration. 1 book a month. Really, really grateful. And it's always good that we rise on the shoulders of those who came before us and who support us. No matter how strong you think you are, there's always that one person that you will take inspiration from. And we're very happy to be surrounded by our mothers, very inspirational women who we look up to. And we are going to acknowledge and give them a round of applause, make them feel welcome for being here. And I'm going to start with Mrs. Janet Jima Kessie. Please give her a round of applause. I'm going to explain. She's a former Bank of Ghana regional manager, and she founded Josmo Agro Industries. She's the wife of Mampohine. That's a breath for Sabons to the second. Give her a round of applause for being here. Thank you so much for being here. We also like to acknowledge who went to UP? KNUST, JHS. Okay. So we have Mrs. Theodosia Jackson from Jackson Educational Complex. And always her best accessory. She can be wearing the best gold diamond, but without Professor Jackson, her shada is never enough. And Prof is here with us. Thank you so much, Prof, for being here. We really, really appreciate, and we love you so much. We really appreciate you. Today we have our keynote speaker. Let me introduce her before she even takes the podium. Looking also fabulous, Coach Taka Wari. Give us a wave. And also part of our advisory board, Mame Afonio Betsai. Where's Mame? Hello. We were on the Zoom call today. Dev. Okay, so we also have, let me go through my list quickly. I hope I don't miss anybody who I'm supposed to acknowledge. Very Reverend Dr. Mrs. A.C. Ojo Asante. Give her a round of applause. So Very Reverend was the headmistress for Wesley Girls Senior High School. Oh, and I know the haters. Rev, speak true. Speak true. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate that. Yes. And then finally, we'd like to acknowledge Catherine Berko. Catherine is here. Where's Catherine? Hello, Catherine. Thank you. And then Mrs. Kate Lai. Mrs. Kate Lai, who are you? Hello. Okay, I see you. Oh. You're representing her. Hey, representation, pa. Give her a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have a message from the U.S. Embassy. We're going to play on the video. But before I do, I want to see your hand up. Just give me a wave, because you are like the VIP here, and I acknowledge your presence. Thank you so much for being here as well. Let's take the message from the U.S. Embassy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little technical glitch. But at the Fabulous Women's Network, there's never a glitch. We don't accept a glitch. What Amma always does during her presentation is we dance. When there's always tension, people are absorbing too much, there's a dance. So, DJ, if you can give me something really hot. Amma, what song are we? I know what he says I am. That's Amma's go-to song. That's like the first thing that comes before other ones. But the go-to is, I know who God says I am. So give me that song. And ladies, gentlemen, can we all be upstanding as we ease off the tension of the technical glitch and fill up this space? DJ, are you ready? Okay. Here we go. Make it count, because now we are on Facebook, we're on YouTube. As you're doing that, go ahead, say hello to somebody. Give somebody a hug. Say hello, introduce yourself. If you can, tell them what you do. Tell them what you do. Tell them the business you're into. Tell them how fabulous you're looking. And whilst you're there, don't forget, just feel special. Dance for the Lord. Make it count. Make it count. There's always one day you meet one person.
We are a chosen generation.
After that day, you know that person.
Come on and show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. How many of you are chosen generation? We are a chosen generation. Yes. Come on to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I'm walking in power. I'm walking miracles. I live a life of favor. 'Cause I know who I am. I'm walking in power. I'm walking miracles. I live a life of favor. 'Cause I know who I know who I am. Everybody sing. I know who I am. One more time, sing. I know who I am. I am holy. Come on. I am holy. I am righteous. Oh, I am so rich. I am beautiful. I'm walking in power. I'm walking in miracles. I live a life of favor. 'Cause I know who I am. I'm walking in power. I'm walking in miracles. I live a life of favor. Take a look. Take a look. Take a look at me. I'm a wonder. It doesn't matter what you see now. Can see His glory. 'Cause I know who I am. Take a look at me. I'm a wonder. It doesn't matter what you see now. Can see His glory. 'Cause I know. Take a look. Take a look at me. I'm a wonder. It doesn't matter what you see now. Can see His glory. 'Cause I know. Tell somebody,
All right,
take a look at me.
ladies
I'm a
and
wonder.
gentlemen, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate the dance. I love the energy you just created. Thank you so much. Please resume your seats now. Kindly resume your seats. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And there'll be more dancing to come. Don't worry. This is just like, I see a friend of prelims. More dancing to come. So we're going to skip this message. We'll take it back. We don't want it to hold our program. So we'll go on to the next. And that is by inviting Coach Taka to give us the keynote speech. So give her a round of applause as she takes the podium to give her keynote speech. Coach Taka.
Thank you. So, good evening. Oh my goodness. I think I only had a few people say good evening. So, good evening. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Distinguished guests, board members of the Fabulous Women's Network, amazing ladies, the fab ladies who've been part of this network. You can see I'm already running away from my podium. I'm not the kind of person who normally stands behind a podium. Huh? Where is Amma? Has she stepped up? Ah, the incredible, as they call her, Lady Amma. Huh? Sisters, aunties, brothers, uncles, good evening. What an absolute joy and honor it is for me to be with you this evening. And congratulations to the Fabulous Women's Network on your 10th anniversary. Yeah? Give them a round of applause again. I mean, what a powerful milestone. A decade of impact, connection, and transformation. Thank you for inviting me to share a few reflections on this theme of inspiration and growth, because that's what I've been seeing up here, celebrating a decade of inspiration and growth. Now, let me start with a question as I get away from my podium again. I'm going to ask you, how many of you in this room believe you have been a source of inspiration? If you have, raise your hand. I'm watching. And as you raise your hand, look around the room just to see how many are raising their hands. Okay. It's interesting, And so for those, let me see again, who are some of those who raise their hands? Okay, so I'm going to ask for some of those who raise their hand. I'm coming. I should not come to you, I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming to my sister here. Because you looked at me to say, please don't come here. But come up closer here because there'll be a background. Why did you say you're a source of inspiration? What makes you a source of inspiration?
Because I live my life from the grave backwards. So I make sure that each day counts and it's full and somebody smiles because I lived that day.
Powerful. Thank you. And I'm going to come back to that powerful statement. Now, I know the question might have made a few of you pause, because some of you might have been thinking, well, what does she mean by inspiration? What does she mean for someone to be a source of inspiration? And for me, inspiration is about lighting a flame. Somebody earlier in here talked about fire. Who mentioned that word? I think one of the amazing, Class B talked about fire. And to me, inspiration is about that. It's about when you inspire someone, you ignite something in them. A spark of possibility, a stirring of emotion, the seed of an idea. You don't always see where it leads, but it starts with that spark. And that's why I asked the question. When I heard these stories, and truly I was so inspired by these stories that we heard from the sisters. When I heard the stories, but also all the stories that the Fabulous Women's Network has been sharing over the years, stories of courage, stories of resilience and triumph. I see women, and this is what I heard when I saw how many of you were 5 or 6 of you up here. I was hearing the stories of women who have walked through fire and come out shining. That's what I was hearing. Some of them, and again, and I celebrate them. Emanuela, Ruth, Nana, Class B, Nana Queer, Edith and Mariam. I celebrate you. Please, let's give them another round of applause. Yeah? Well done to you all. Now, your stories matter. Class P and the rest of it, your stories matter. These women and men who have dared to rise, dared to lead, dared to dream. Who was it? Was it Marianne? Who was the last one who said, I had stopped dreaming? It was Marianne who said, I'd stopped dreaming. Now there you are, Marianne. You've dared to dream again. They are the incredible sources of inspiration. And at a time right now when the world is feeling uncertain, complex, heavy, we know what's happening in the world right now. We need that inspiration more than ever. But here is the first message I want to leave with you tonight. We're looking at these women for inspiration. But the message I want to leave with you tonight is you must become the source of inspiration you are looking for. As Nelson Mandela said, we are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Too often, and I know just again as I was listening to your stories, we believe we must overcome monumental, these big challenges, and achieve great success to inspire others. But inspiration doesn't always come on the big stage with the huge headline on TikTok, on Instagram. Often, it's the small acts of kindness. It's the quiet persistence towards a goal. It's the grace with which you handle a setback. The strength you show when no one is applauding. That too is inspirational. And someone somewhere is watching. Someone somewhere is looking at you and being moved by it, even if you don't know it. So my first message today is it doesn't have to be those big things. Don't just be looking at others to be a source of for inspiration. Remember, you too are a source of inspiration. My second message tonight is about growth. And again, I start with a question. Okay, this is the question. How many of you, we're now what? We're in April. I can't even believe we're already in April. It's as if 2025 is going by even faster than 2024. But okay, let's say we're early April. When you think about this year, put up your hand if you would say you think you have grown this year. I won't ask you what that means. And I see some of you are looking at me like, what is she asking me these plenty questions? Just talk and finish. Don't be bringing. Put up your hand if you think in 2025 you have grown. See one hand there. See two hands there. See a few hands there. I see some hesitant hands. I can see maybe just a little bit. I see a hand there. But it's interesting how few hands I am seeing up. And yet we're here today to celebrate growth. So when I started to write this, I had to ask myself this question. This very question I asked you, I had to ask myself, can I switch up the mics? I had to ask myself the very same question this morning, and I was saying to myself, Taka, maybe the question you should be asking yourself is, have you really grown? And this is one thing that came to me. I realized that you're seeing some of my gray hair here. So in terms of age, I may have grown, but one thing I've learned is that aging is compulsory, growth is not. Aging is compulsory, growth is not. I have so many of my age mates in our 50s, in our 60s, 70s, who they have grown in years, but they've not grown as people. But to really grow, I think each of you needs to ask yourself, what does growth look like for you? Because we live in a world that often defines growth as having more money, more things, more titles. And there's nothing wrong with those things. But what I have seen, and I'm sure all of you have seen, it is possible to accumulate all those things, the money, the jobs, the title, the houses, and still not grow. So when I asked myself that question this morning, that tough question, and I'm really curious as to why some of you had not raised your hand. It means you have an idea of what growth means to you, and you're like, this year I've not cut it. But when I asked myself that question this morning, I had to think, okay, what is growth for me? Growth for me means becoming a more powerful, loving instrument of the divine. That for me, I realized that's growth. Growth for me is becoming a more loving mother, a more loving daughter, a more loving sister, a more loving boss, a more loving colleague, a more loving coach. That I had to define for myself. So tonight, as you listen to these bold stories of achievements and quiet triumphs, this has been 10 years of growth. I think you can see what growth looks like. Let's give the Fabulous Women's Network a round of applause. That's what growth looks like. You see what it looks like, but I think tonight my second message to you is you need to keep asking yourself, what does growth look like for me? Is it the bigger job? Is it the bigger title? Or is it what I do with that platform, like the Fabulous Women's Network, the hand I extend to lift up another woman as I rise? So as I close, I leave you with these two invitations. First, today, decide you will be a source of inspiration. Not when you've made it all big, but now, in the way you show up every day. Light the flame in someone else. Second, get crystal clear about what growth means to you. Not what the world says it should be, but what it means for your soul, your spirit, your purpose. So congratulations once again, the Fabulous Women's Network, on 10 years of extraordinary work. May your next decade be filled with even more inspiration and growth. Thank you so much for having me.
I think with the kind of zeal and every emphasis on the words, the applause should be a little louder.